the top of Anderson.
Over
Cracks all the way back in,
it
does. And he's locked in, but what a goal!
Inundated. So popular.
Welcome back to the Australian tournament for the 2020 Olympic Games. This match here is between Nick Lum and Alex Yeung. Alex is on 1 win, 2 losses. Important match for his campaign. This will put him in clear 4th place, should he win. Other important matches going on at the moment. It's between Benjamin Gould and Sam von Eyman. They're both on 2 wins, 0 losses in Pool A, and will put themselves in a very good or strong position to qualify come tomorrow. Nicholas Lum on 3 wins, 0 losses. Dominic Wang on 3-0 in that group. Just to keep you updated, 3-2-8-7 for Connie. Michelle serving. 7-8 down. 2-3 down. All right, match about to get underway. Nick Lum in fine form. We're going to be joined by the national coach, my boss, the Irishman, Mr. John Murphy. See if you can understand him. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Simon.
So Nick's on 3 wins, 0 losses here. Alex Yeung, 1 and 2. Vital match for Alex. And Nick is just flying at the moment, John.
Yeah, he's serving very well, following up with third ball attacks. So it'll be interesting to see how Alex deals with that.
Happy so far with what you're seeing, John? Any standout performances so far?
Yeah, I think the age profile it's a very young event, especially on the boys' side. Sam Van Eynem being the oldest player, 24, so we're seeing a lot of the future stars, and it's been impressed so far what I'm seeing.
Stephanie saying the oldest lady in the event, and the youngest one was Connie at 11. It was such a massive difference. We talked about that earlier. But even in the girls' side, it's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you said, it's seeing those youth players, but it's also an Olympic qualifier, and to have a player of Stephanie Sang's level who played in Beijing Olympics obviously adds a lot of experience to the field.
We've had David Powell in the commentary today. We've had President Jamie Olsen also. He's who was quite happy with the progress we're making at a table tennis Australia level. What about your end? How's that all shaping up and coming along? It was a big year for you.
Yeah, obviously started the job the end of 2018, so more than a year in the role. Starting to see some progress in the structures that we're trying to put in place. Still got some work to do, but very excited with the upcoming year in 2020. Obviously Tokyo Olympics being the main focus, but we're also doing a lot with our junior program, and we hope to continue to improve those players.
Jamie was talking about sort of the resources, and everyone's sort of working very hard and tirelessly. I know with you there's a hard balance between visiting all the states and getting away to all the major events when you can, and obviously monitoring and maintaining the daily training environment. How's that year looked for you? Has it been was it a very tough challenge, or was it something you were totally up to and you knew you were coming into that sort of a position, or how's it all been for you this year?
Obviously, it's been a tough but rewarding year. You mentioned the states and how to get around and see everybody, and of course we would like to do more and we would like to have more engagement, and I think that will come in 2020. We're about to add to the coaching staff, so hopefully that will give us more engagement with interstate players, along with trying to have some more team camps, bring the national team players together. And we've got some initiatives to start some development national team training camps for those players just outside the national team. I think that will be exciting for those players, and obviously we're going to try to continue to build our National Hopes Week, which we're really excited to have in Loops, 20th to the 24th of January, and we hope to have good numbers, good youth players come to the event.
Is it too soon to review 2019, or are you going through that stage at the moment, or are you just mainly focused on ending out the year? You've still got the World Junior Championships. We've got the Australian qualifier or the Oceania qualifier. How's that sitting with you?
Yeah, I think right now, I think the main focus is those two performance events with the juniors in Thailand next week, and then of course the big qualifier Oceania team match against the other Oceania nations. Obviously, we know the prize that's at stake. It's a team in both the female and male Olympics, which will give us the maximum quota of 6 players. So I think the real focus is on that over the next 3 weeks, and I think over the Christmas period we'll evaluate and critique our year and try to make it better for 2020.
Getting back to this match, it looks like a bit of a surprise. Alex Yeung leads 9-6 in the first set, but it's, I think, important to note that Alex Yeung took Nicholas in the finals of the junior teams event earlier this year. So this is a tricky matchup for Nicholas, one that he would be expected to win, but knows that it's not his ideal matchup.
Yeah, I think exactly that. I think Nicholas coming with 3 wins already. The pressure now is swung to him to continue that momentum, and like you said, Simon, Alex has had form against Nicholas, so I am expecting a very tight game.
Just going around the tables, Luke Cosgriff 4-6, 1-0 up against Alex Lee. Fin Lu leads 10-8 in the first set against Raymond Zhang. The big match between Connie and Michelle is now 8-5 in the 7th set for Connie, the youngster, the 11-year-old. First set goes to Alex Yeung. We'll be back in just a few moments. Lots of major events coming to Melbourne and all over the country, so make sure you get your registrations in. And some amazing footwear. Lugano.com.au, supporting table tennis worldwide. Well, again, I'm sitting here with John Murphy as we watch Nicholas Lum against Alex Yeung. Alex Yeung leads 1-0. John, if you had to look, just looking back, I know that your focus, as you said, is on the qualifying the team for the Olympic Games and the World Junior Championships coming up in Thailand. What would you say your top 3 or top 5, even maybe just one, if that's all it is, successes of 2019? What would you say? How would you describe it?
I think obviously we've done a lot this year. We've had a lot of players travel overseas. So we've had a number of successes. Obviously also some difficult times, but probably the biggest and most enjoyable success for me was being with the junior team at the Oceania Junior Championships in Tonga. Not only for the results where we won 13 out of the 14 possible gold medals on offer. I believe that the culture of the team and the way that they've done it was exceptional, and it was a pleasure to be part of that team. So until now, that probably sticks out as the most satisfying moment of the year. Obviously, there's been some other great successes. Playing in a home open at the Australian Open in Geelong, where we have so many of our national team players participating. That's also been a great highlight, and something that we can look forward to every year if the ITTF continue to bring those major events to Australia.
As we go around, Sam Von Eyman leads Benjamin Gould 1-0 in that big Pool A match. Go a long way to finding out who the #1 player in that group is. And we're about to kick off on table 4, which is another big big match for Pool B with Bob Liang against Dominic Yeung. Luke Cosgriff has levelled it at 1-1 as Nick Lum and Alex Yeung go head on 3-2 for Nick Lum.
I think it's very critical for Nicholas watching here that he keeps positive emotion. I think that's something he showed well. He's done well so far today. But being such a young player, I think concentration levels now come to the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hold that together.
Yeah, it's been sort of interesting having Dave in the commentary box, and even myself as a former player watching today's qualifier. It's been nice to see so many players in a stage 1 qualification. But we talked about that a lot, about the senior player, how you're 2-2 in a match and it's not a critical moment sort of thing, it's just another moment. Whereas for the younger players, you start thinking it's a bit more critical at 2-2 in sets. They need to win that set to keep their momentum running. And we saw, for example, with Alex Lee, he's probably one of the more experienced or better sort of position 17-year-olds. But his day got off a bit on a shaky start and, hasn't been able to regain momentum. And, we thought a bit the same with Raymond Zeng, but in fairness, he's really battled hard and come through. But yeah, just that roller coaster point by point that the kids sometimes take versus the more senior players. They're just prepared to be here for the next 24 hours and play 7 or 8 matches and just keep chipping away point after point.
Exactly that, and you've said it already. You can see both in the male and female events that anything is possible. There's very few players who will go undefeated throughout the whole competition, and Connie's win there against Michelle Wu just shows you that it's wide open and anything is possible. So I think it's all to play for at this stage.
Dave also mentioned that it's a long run to make the Olympic Games. It's a good 2-month, 3-month process. So
Yeah, I think you can see that it's the Olympic fever is set in. You have some of the top players here, even who have already qualified into stage 2. You've got the national champion Hugh Hemming and Min Hongji, who are both in attendance today, obviously checking out who they may have to play against in stage 2. So
Dave in the commentary box.
Melissa
Tapper coaching.
So
8-4 Nicholas. Yeah, he's been very impressive today, Nick. He's maintained a nice, stable output. He was pretty clear with his decision making early in the piece, saying he'll have his dad in the bench and they'll just play each match as it comes, and he's handled himself very well.
I think that's an interesting one, Simon. I think a lot of dads on the bench, and indeed mums as well. And it's an interesting setup for the players. Sometimes it can work really well, and on the other hand, sometimes it can be maybe too close of a relationship. So it's interesting.
We had a discussion about that yesterday with a couple of friends, and we'll just go to a bit of a break and we'll pick up this conversation after the break. It was a nice little advert of the National Hopes Week you mentioned earlier, John, as we pick up action 1-1. Yeah, I was saying that I think the big thing at Olympic trials with parents is obviously for the parent, it's the Olympic trials. It's a massive event. And in most cases over the years, what I've seen is the parent then just really understand that their child needs to enjoy it, the process, and not get in the way of their child's chance of qualifying. So most times I've actually seen it work. Dave and I had this discussion as well. The only times I don't see it work is, and I've had this experience in the past, where I'm sort of in the bench coaching against the parent and the game gets technical. I have a clear advantage with my player over the untechnical parent. So, that's just my thoughts on it. Yeah.
I think it can work both ways. I certainly agree with what you say. If you have someone who's been there and done it and qualified through these situations, and I know me and you've spoke about this in the past. I'm not used to this environment. The qualifying system for such a major event coming from Europe. It's more of a selected thing, and I think this system is very fair, and I think the best players will come through in the end.
As we go around the tables, we've got Luke Cosgriff up 2-1 against Alex Lee. Finn Lu 2-0 versus Raymond Zheng. The battle between Dominic Wang and Bob Liang is Bob Liang 8-5 in the first. And Benjamin Gould now leads 7-4, 1-1 against Sam Von Eyman. Well, you brought it up, John, so I'm going to have to go there. What do you feel so far about the qualification system versus selection system? National coach, what are your thoughts there?
I think, look, it's a big tradition in Australia. I don't think there's ever been a non qualifying system for any of the games, and I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong there, Simon. I think that's what the players are used to here.
Yep.
And of course, you put the players in that environment, and they have to perform to qualify. And the players who generally qualify are normally the best players, are the ones most prepared to go to the Olympic Games, and history has proven that down the years. I know we had William Hensel here in the stand. Was talking to him earlier on, and he's an example of that. He's always had to go through the qualification system, and he obviously had that outstanding performance in London in 2012 where he got to the last 16. So there's evidence to suggest that the system is good and the players will be prepared when they go to the Olympics.
What are the negatives? Are there any negatives with the qualification system that you can see so far?
I think some advantage if a selected team, especially for a team event, you can pair up known doubles partners, etc. And I think obviously that's a big part of the team. So you can see that would be one advantage of a selected team, that you can pick players suited to playing with each other or who have current form in doubles. But I think if we talk about who plays in the singles event, I think it's a very fair system that the top two who will eventually come out on top in January will be those players who get to represent Australia at the Olympics.
I'm guessing the mixed doubles sort of a thing, like you're starting at the round of 16, I believe. 16 countries all get a team each. It's those sort of selections you're talking about, as an example.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also in the team matches when you
big ball from Nicholas Lum. Did you see that one, Mr. Murphy? Round from the back of the table, big forehand, Luke, the cannon. Sorry, John.
No problem. I think that's something that he's probably been showing all day, so it's
you're just used to it now, John.
Nice to see it.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
You're the boss, Simon. You know that.
8-4. He's holding himself so well. This youngster, 14 years old. He's off to the World Junior Championships next year. You must get excited, watching these kids, and equally Alex Yeung or Raymond Zheng and Finn Lu. You must get excited about the future. That sort of 14 to 15, 16-year-old bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said that at the start when I came on here. I think that's the biggest positive today is the junior talent that's on show, and I think with good coaching and good structures, I think table tennis can flourish over the next years. And I think the Australian team can become very competitive on an international level.
The opportunities are there too, right? Like you said, with the National Hopes program this year, won Bay went in 2019. Then you got the World Cadet Challenge. Finn Lu was there for that. World Junior Championships, we've qualified again. Every spot that's available, we're taking it as a national organisation, boys and girls, in fairness. So the opportunities at an international level are there.
Absolutely, I think Australia are placed very well. I think we have players in all the ITTF programs this year.
All the way through to the Olympics in the past, right?
So I think it's the opportunities are certainly there. It's about taking those opportunities. It's about providing more opportunities, and I think that's the way for Australia to really go up the level and be more and more competitive at those major events.
Give us an example of taking those opportunities, John.
I think when the ITTF come calling for events like Rough Diamonds, which we've had Finn Lu and Nicholas Lum take part in this year, and I'm sure we'll have more players over the next couple of years being invited into these events. But being able to, send the players there, being able to send the national coach with them, or one of the national coaches, I think that's like taking opportunity that's provided for us. But also trying to be in the hall as much as possible. Trying to be at as many events as possible, trying to give yourself as much exposure as possible, and I think those are the important things for the players around the country.
Absolutely.
I noticed that Benji Gould is taking the lead of 2-1 against Sam Van Einem in that crucial match.
Yeah, Pool A, sorry. Sam and Ben are on 2-0. Obviously, Finn Lu leads 3-0 against Raymond Zheng, so it's looking like the three to qualify through will be Finn, Sam, and Ben. Hayden Green 0-3. Raymond Zheng now will go 1-3. They'll carry those matches forward through to the next stage. And Ben, well positioned, defeating Lu in the previous round. That'll come down to Sam and Finn in the next round, should it all go to plan. Should it all go the way it's going right now.
I think Benji has looked very sharp today. I think he looks like he's prepared very well for this event. I know he's been here a week in advance, practicing in Melbourne, and he's been down a number of times throughout the year, and he seems to be really looking sharp and ready to perform, and that's exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, the Melbourne program's been probably one of the first stages, but we've seen a fair bit of interstate engagement in that program too, with Benjamin Gould, Michelle Beaumont travelling. Obviously, we need to sort of continue that sort of thing going forward, and obviously with the new appointment next year, players from all over the country will be more and more prepared, and not just for local tournaments, but more importantly the international events, the international scene.
Absolutely, I think we've started something that's a long-term plan. I think rolling out that kind of system and that kind of hours of practice around the country is the next step, and when we get more staff and when we're better placed over the next couple of months, the states and territories will see the benefit of that. So it's a really exciting time for me to be the head coach of such an up-and-coming country, and really I do believe that that's the steps that we need to take to go forward.
Just got back from the World Cup, John. You had Xavier Dixon, Dylan Chambers and Kane Townsend at that event. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was a very interesting event. The first World Team Cup for myself as well. Obviously the best 12 countries in the world, so very tough event. And we had a very nice team there. I think it was a really good experience for both Dylan and Zave, having not played at that level before. So it was a great experience for them, and an eye-opener to be in the training hall with some of the best players in the world, obviously competing against Germany. Dylan playing very well against Dmitry Ovtcharov, for example, and it showed what level they need to be if they want to break into that category of player. I suppose the other great thing about that trip was that we got to visit our pre-Olympic base just outside Osaka. So that was a great experience, and it showed me what it will be like when we are there prior to going into the village in July next year. So it was a very informative trip, and yeah, really excited to be there.
Oi. Easy miss there from Nick Lum.
I think that's one thing that I've probably noticed. If I could critique Nick today, would be he needs to be concentrated on those kind of balls. He tends to give away a lot of points when maybe he feels like the rally.
He's done all the hard work.
Yeah, he's done the work, and he maybe loses that concentration. So it's something he needs to be careful with going forward.
Fair call. Benjamin Gould goes out to 2-1 against Sam von Eyman, and 3-1 I should say. 3-1 for Benjamin Gould against Sam von Eyman. And Dominic Wang has a set ball but down 1-0 against Bob Liang, so crucial point here. 10-10, Dominic Wang, Bob Liang.
You can see here, Alex Yeung has a good game plan against Nick. You can see that he has the confidence to win this match. This set is very, very crucial for him. I think at 2-2, anything is possible in this game.
Yeah, well, he's still in the game. If he gets a 2-2, can only be a match behind. It's a nice ball. A match behind whoever's in front of him, and that could be two people in front of him. Finn Lu's just taken out that set, so he's now well pitted for a third place or possibly second place position.
Yeah, that's an interesting match there for Finn to win 4-0. I think he just lost in the previous round 2-4 against Benjamin Gould, and I think that probably shows his mental strength that he's able to come back and win 4-0.
Absolutely. Raymond now slips to 1 win, 3 losses. Hayden 0 wins, 3 losses. Yeah, I think that group's almost done, John. Luke Cosgriff 9-10, 2-2 against Alex Lee. Alex still trying to get that first win on the board.
I think Alex, as we said, he's had a tough day. Obviously, he's in the World Junior Championship team, heading off to Thailand next week, and it would be a confidence booster for him to get a couple of wins on the board in the last couple of matches. So
World Junior Championships, John, Thailand, training camp before it, or is it straight to Thailand?
We have a training camp starting tomorrow, so
Monday?
Monday,
yep.
sorry. So the event will finish tomorrow, and the team will get together at the hotel in Melbourne, and we'll have a camp in Loops, table tennis.
How many days?
4 days camp before we head out to Thailand, and we're there 3 days before we compete. So it's a good preparation for the team. I think it's vital that we get them together. I think we've done that throughout 2019. We brought the senior team to Slovakia for a week before the World Championships in Hungary, which proved to be a success, and it's always good to get the team together prior to leaving Australia to go out and play in these big events. As we said here, Simon, 2-2.
Who's your tip here, John, or is national coach not allowed? Because I've been tipping all day as an assistant coach.
Yeah, I think it's a very close one. I think we said it before. Alex has good form against Nicholas. I think probably looking at 7 sets here. So it'll be
So you're going to sit on the fence, John?
who's stronger mentally.
Sitting on the fence?
I think that's the job of the national coach.
Right, okay. Well, I'm leading Dave Powell 3-1 on tip so far.
That's why I'm the head coach.
Thank you, John.
I do think it's a very good experience for the players out there, playing in a qualifying event like that. Just noticing some of the players training in the practice hall, working with their coaches. I noticed the two young green girls preparing with Melissa Tapper, and regardless of the results and regardless of how you play, getting that experience with such a player, and like Melissa, helping them off the court prepare, and then going onto the court with them. I think that's going to stand to players going forward. So I was really excited to see things like that happening.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier about sort of the Australian, let's say, system and the things that sort of have been in place since the inception of the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games, for example. This is one. I think that it's one of the events that you put in the calendar every 2 years as a qualification system, which is a great experience for youngsters to go and play the senior players under extreme pressure because there's so much on the line. There's an Olympic spot on the line at the end of the day. And the depth is there that, as it trickles down to, let's say, the Hannah Green or Olivia Green, they're still playing for so much that they're getting the real world experience of, making that flick, making that open up, making that flick under these extreme conditions, a bit like the match between Connie and Michelle Wu. So, yeah, absolutely. I think this is into the program, part of the program. The debate about a selection or a qualification system, yeah, that's fine. But you can still have the tournament and then select after, as an example, in any other country.
No, I completely agree, Simon. I think the event has great merits, and I do like the system. I said, I've come into it. It isn't something we intend to change. I think it's tradition, and like I said, I don't think it's caused problems for us for Australia in the past, and I don't believe that it will in the future. So I think it's only a positive thing, and it's a great challenge for the players.
Alex Yeung can't get his nose in front here, though. Nick doing very well, just to always keep his nose in front, or at least just draw.
Yeah, I think a big advantage for Nick, he's got a very effective serve, and we do see that on the international scene when he plays at his own age group, that he's able to win a lot of points from his own serve. So when he plays in these kind of matches, he tends to get those 2 or 3 cheap points per set, which helps him create leads like he has now, 7-3.
I'm seeing his game grow this week, to be honest. Today, from match to match, I'm seeing him learn the art of table tennis, just keeping the ball in play sometimes at the right moments. It's not just big bang. I mean, there was a set there earlier in the day against Alex Lee. It was the highlights really in that first set. But if you watch this sort of a set, he's winning points off push, he's winning points off slow spins, he's winning points off a block. He's growing with every match.
Yeah, I think for such a young player, he plays quite a senior game, and I think you can see that here. We've seen it throughout the day. I think he benefits hugely from being in the training group with the players like Dave Powell and Xavier Dixon, and Dylan Chambers. These senior guys training on a daily basis. So I think he benefits hugely from that level of competition in the daily training environment.
Benjamin Gould's taken out Sam Von Eyman, so that takes Benji to 3 wins, 0 losses. Sam Von Eyman will go back to 2-1, which sets up a big final match in that group, Pool A, between Finn Liu and Sam Von Eyman for second place.
Absolutely, I think you really don't want to arrive to the second stage with 0-2. I think it's a very difficult position to be in. It's not unsurmountable, but it's but it's a more difficult position. I think if you arrive there on a 1-1 score, it's pretty much all to play for. I think you mentioned Benji there. I think probably the most impressive player on show today. You know, I think he's done a really good job.
Absolutely. Well, I've just got news that Dave Powell's tipped Alex Yeung to come through here. I'm sticking with Nick Lum. John sitting on the fence, obviously. So let's see how this one pans out, John.
Yeah, I think Nicholas probably in a commanding position here, 3-2 up. But
I was very surprised to hear that Dave picked Alex Yeung during the break there.
Well, Dave's a well-informed man, and I think he anything Dave would say would hold a lot of merit.
Dominic Wang 1-2 against Bob Liang, so won the third set.
I think interesting with Bob, but he's been in China practicing prior to this event.
Yep.
So he's prepared well, and he showed that from the off today, beating Alex Lee in the first match. He never really got into the match against Nick Lum, but he's back to business here, and he leads 2-1.
Nice ball from Nick Lum, just uses his spin and placement. Beautiful play. Set ball for Cozzy. Cozzy up 10-9. 2-3 down against Alex Lee. Alex Lee hits an edge. 10-all. Some great rallies on the Bob Liang Dominic Wang match. Talking about big matches, that's another big one there, John. If Bob Liang does come up on that one, then that puts Bob on 3 wins, 1 loss, and Dominic on 3-1. And if this keeps going the way it's going, Nick Lum will be on 4-0. So these boys are playing for second. I mean, Bob Liang and Dominic, they're playing for second in the group and third. Because that'll push Alex Yeung out to 1 and 3, and probably.
No, if Dominic doesn't win there, if he beats Nick tomorrow, he could still win the group on countback.
Right.
Because it would be head to head.
Again, that's why you're national coach, and I'm just a mere commentator.
So still all to play for really in that group.
All right. Well, I'm just talking nothing now. I might leave the commentary box.
I think what I've seen here with Nick, he's received very well. He's pushed out long when he hasn't been able to play short, really aggressive, and he's won a lot of points in that. I think it's probably something that's not used enough in the game at the moment. We think.
Yeah, for sure. Just push out, make that first block into a tricky position, and regroup, or even make a counter loop off that first push.
Yeah, I think you see that internationally now.
Correct.
The players are not afraid to hold the first ball on the table. I think it's a critical part of the game. Again, you see there, Nicholas.
Another free point
another
on that serve.
free point on the serve.
Well, we goes to 8-2 now, 3-2. Closing stages of this game. It's been a pleasure to have John Murphy, national coach, with me in the box. Anything you want to finish with or say, John?
Oh, I hope everyone's enjoying the coverage at home. I think it's great to have the event streamed. I think showcases our sport. So hopefully people enjoy tomorrow, and again I hope the country will be behind us when we do play the Oceania team qualifiers in Mornington on the 6th of December. Anyone who's in the vicinity could come in and support us. Would be great and much appreciated. Obviously you might get the chance to meet the stars of the team as well.
I will be there, yep.
I was more
sorry.
alluding to the players, but
Sorry.
I'm not sure we're the star attractions, but no, it would be great to have the support, and I look forward to that challenge.
Brilliant. Thanks, John. Thanks for joining me here. And it's 9-3 now. 3-2 for Nick Lum. 10-3. I'm going to mark this one down. This is all over. I can't see the young man coming back from here, but I have been known to call it early. That means Nick now is on a 4-0. Dominic goes to... Oh, no, I'm not calling that one yet. By the way, that's another point for me over Dave Power. So, and John, you still on 0.
I think what would be interesting to see on this match would be the stats, to see how many points Nick Lum does win on that serve. Because I've seen at least half the time he's winning directly from the serve.
Yeah, I'll get the stats man to get onto that now. We should have that answer for you the next time you join me in the box.
Appreciated.
There it is. 4-2, Nick Lum over Alex Yeung. Thanks again, John Murphy.
Thank you, Simon.
Open Elite 8 Premiers, how does that sound?
Big wicket, and that one bounced. Come on! Look on the edge, it's far the ball through. The driver is being taken with that. Gone. Over and going through, it's all over for Southern. He's out. Gillum Jones is out. Can it get over the top of Anderson?
Get over
Tracks all the way
Anderson,
back in.
it
It
is.
does. And he's locked in, but what a goal!